Now, the small and medium-scale enterprise in Nigeria is the backbone of major developed economies as well as important contributors to employment, economic and export growth. Despite the significant contribution of SMEs to the Nigerian economy, challenges still persist that hinder the growth and development of the sector. In South Africa, SMEs account for 91% of businesses, 60% of employment, and contribute 52% of total GDP. In Nigeria, SMEs contribute 48% of national GDP, account for 96% of businesses, and 84% of employment. According to the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, small and medium-scale enterprises in Nigeria have contributed about 48% of the national GDP in the last 5 years. With a total number of 17.4 million, they account for about 50% of industrial jobs and nearly 90% of the manufacturing sector in terms of number of enterprises. Now, based on the above, there is need to conduct an evaluation of SMEs in Nigeria with the aim of unlocking growth and development of the sector in Nigeria. Now, let's explore this further. And joining me in the discussion is Chizoba Kune. She is a coach, facilitator, and author. She is the founder of various organizations, including Center for Individual and Child Development, among others. She also holds a BSc Political Science certificate in entrepreneurship, and so on. She is currently co-founder, SuperPro, a virtual assistant and general administrative need organization. That is a full profile there. Thank you so much for joining us, Chizoba.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good to have you again.
Yeah.
Okay, now looking at this issue of SME funding, is it an issue we should even be talking about? But because if you look at the contribution the SME sector make to the GDP from the statistics we just reeled out, you would expect that funding should come naturally towards this sector. Should we be having this conversation now?
Well, in an ideal situation, we shouldn't be having this conversation, considering what the SME is contributing to the growth of the economy and even providing employment opportunities. But yes, it's an issue because SMEs have not been able to scale up. SMEs have not been able to do all that they could do because they are lacking funding. So funding is a critical aspect that SME needs to look into. And you know, funding is the life of a business. When there is no cash flow in the business, when there is no money to sustain the business, what happens is that the business dies. So that's why I feel that this is a very critical topic that we should talk about.
Now, so let's look at some of the ways that SMEs can get or be adequately funded, especially in a climate like ours, Nigeria.
Okay, so there are so many ways SMEs can get funded. The first way is, I always say, whenever you're starting a business, start with family and friends. Start with your savings.
But there's also that saying that businesses thrive when family and friends pay for services.
No, what
rendered.
I mean is, don't give them credit. What I mean is borrow from them.
Okay.
So when you're borrowing from, for example, you want to start a business and you borrow from your colleagues, from your family. Now they don't have interest rates. So you have that cushion. And another way you could raise funds is going to the bank. But I feel that going to the bank is a last resort, because if you're going to the bank to get money for your business, how are you going to service the interest? If you're sure that you have funds somewhere, or maybe a payment somewhere that you can service the interest, then go for bank lending. But if you don't have any money set aside, or maybe any income coming in that can cover your interest rate, don't even go into bank.
I have a statistics here that would shock you, Chizoba, or maybe not shock you. According to the Nigerian Institute for Social and Economic Research findings, about 73% of SMEs raise their funds through bootstrapping, that's personal savings, and then about 2% obtain their funds from financial institutions, while 0.21% obtain their funds from other sources. Now, if this report is anything to go by, 2% from financial institutions, isn't that worrisome?
Yeah, it's worrisome, but you know, that's why I said it. But that's why I mentioned the interest rates. That's why I mentioned the interest rate, and then
for the loans, the collaterals,
and all. No, apart from the collateral, you need to still pay 2% you still have to pay your interest every month. So for example, let's say a bank says, I'm giving you money, and then your interest rate is 12%. Now, you still have to pay it every month. Now, it's after you have paid it every month, even if you don't pay the principal sum, once you have not defaulted in your monthly payment, you can now go back to them and say, okay, let's renegotiate. But the issue is, you're taking your money to do a business. You're not sure where you're going to be getting money to service that loan. So that's where you've run into trouble. Now, another thing I'll advise SMEs to look into is look into angel investors.
Angel?
Yes.
What does that mean?
People are called, angel investors are people that, they are mostly companies or individuals that are looking for where to invest their money. Yeah, so we have the Lagos angel investors. We have a lot of different investment opportunities.
So how do you locate these angels?
Now you can locate them online. You could just type it in. You could locate them through there. And some of them, but when you're locating them and you're going to pitch to them, because then you also know you need to learn how to pitch your business. I know the last time I came here, I was talking about branding. When we were talking about branding, and I said everything. Branding is not just a part. It's everything. So you have to be able to look into your business structure, look into your profit, because that's what you're going to pitch. You're going to pitch your product. You're going to pitch how the market needs your product. You're going to pitch about your customers. You're going to pitch about how you're going to be able to make profit. Now, some of those investors would want a part of your business. So that's not wrong in itself. But the issue is, as a young entrepreneur, your business is just starting. Your business is 5 years. Your business is 10 years. And you're interested in, you just want them to bring the money. So you're not even looking at the risk involved. Now, some of them may say, I want 10% of the business. Some of them may say, I want your profit. I want to share profit with you. So look at what they're offering, and then look at what they're bringing in. And then you'll be able to make a good decision. And then also, there are different platforms where you could pitch your business. You could go pitch, and then they give you seed funding for your business. Now, I believe that those are also excellent choices that you could do. So look out for them. You have the TEF, the Tony Numelu Foundation. They have something on that. You have a lot of organizations that do stuffs around that. So look into them, apply for those fundings, go and pitch your business if you're called, and then those fundings are wonderful because you're not expected to pay back, and then you also have the opportunity to have people mentor you and go through your business with you so you could grow. So
let's talk about some of the challenges. You just talked about different options by which SMEs can get funds. But there are also talks and complaints from even these organizations like the Bank of Industry, which also gives out funds to different organizations, small-scale businesses. But they talk about the fact that some of these business owners do not even have a business plan. And so this poses a challenge in doling out funds. Of course, you don't want to give out funds to a business owner who doesn't even have a plan.
So yeah, that's very important. So now, so let me give you the typical example of an entrepreneur in Nigeria. So what happens? I'm passionate about something. Either I'm passionate about a business, or maybe I'm looking for a job. I didn't get a job, and then I start doing a business. Now, I don't sit down to say, okay, I am passionate about this. I can do this. I feel I have skills in this. Now, let me put down on paper and by what I expect from my business. What is my business vision? What is my mission? Who are my target audience? How do I meet them? What is my product? What differentiates my product? Like, I have some people that come to tell me about, like, I was talking to someone 2 days ago, and she had this fantastic idea, and she was talking about it, and I said, and all she was just telling me is I was led. Maybe because she knows that I'm also a Christian. She was just saying I was led. And at the point I asked her, I said, okay.
Which is not bad in itself.
Which is not bad. I thought I said, okay, I don't have a doubt that you are led and you are. But please, I'm not seeing any viable action. I'm not seeing anything that would even tell me that you're serious about this thing. So you should be able to sit down to you. I know doing your business plan is important, but
exactly.
I know it's difficult to do your business plan. It's difficult for some people, but see, there are simpler templates for business plans. Very simple.
And you can also employ someone to do it for you.
Yes,
can't you?
Could. Yes, I know you could pay people to do your business plan, but what I would tell you is sit down first. do your business plan yourself.
Wow.
Even if it means you maybe taking out 1 week, take it. Sit down and do it. It's your business. It's you.
So you don't advise getting the help of somebody.
Write it. Take it to that person that you feel is an expert in business plan writing, and then let the person now. Both of you will look into it, and then you do it. I know, yes, we want shortcut, but I'll give you the story quickly about this. I know somebody who got a you win grant fund. It was somebody that wrote that business plan for her. It was an expert. The business plan was wonderful. Maybe she just told him, and he wrote it, and it was wonderful. She got that fund, and her business has crashed. Because she wasn't a part of it. So when you're writing the business plan, what the business plan helps you to do is you're able to visualize your business. You're able to see that, okay, this is where we need funds for. Okay, we don't even need funds here. We need visibility. Okay, so I shouldn't be looking for funding. I should be looking for someone who can push my business out, who can push my product out. Okay, no, maybe it is not what I need. What I need is to sit down and look into my staffing. That's what business plan does for you. So
apart from the lack of ability to put pen to paper as regards your business plan, what are some of the other challenges that business owners, especially small-scale business owners, have in getting these funds? Because sometimes when you go to these industries or these organizations that give out the funds, they tell you these funds are available, but these people aren't qualified, in quotes.
Now, the thing is, and another thing I know is lack of information. Most SMEs don't know where it's happening. In fact, sometimes when they are seeing an opportunity, it closed yesterday and they are seeing it today. So what I always tell SME and small business owners is this: your phone is not just for, you're using a smartphone, it's an office. When you have that consciousness that my phone is an office, it guides everything that you do. It guides your searches. So when you take your phone and you say, okay, I am going to be on my phone for 2 hours, what are you doing on that phone? You should be able to look out for opportunities. Look out for, okay, when and when, who is doing what. You don't have to know the name. Just say organizations that are giving startup fundings or seed fundings to SMEs. Type it. Just look for opportunities for pitching in 2022. This 2021.
All right.
And it's excellent. This December.
Let's wrap up quickly.
Start doing that.
Yes, by focusing on the role that banks have in making these funds easily accessible.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say is a bank is, the major thing why a bank is there is to make profits. And a bank wants to trade with your money and make profits. So yes, bearing that in mind, we have information desks in banks where you could go to ask questions. Okay,
we have 1 minute. I'm being told by my producer.
Yeah, so there are places you could go there and ask for information. Even when you go to BOI, they'll give you like plenty of papers. Take it. Even if you don't understand it, sit with someone, read it, write it out, find out what do I not have, what do I have, work towards it. And you in this 2022, we're going to 2022, so you could start working on it.
All right, you still took it back to the business owners, and I asked for the roles of the banks.
No, the banks have already made information decks available. Now, if you have, let me tell you the truth, if you have a good financial plan of payment, if you have a good product, banks will give you money.
Okay, that's a fine place to leave it. A very big thank you to Ichizoba Akune, coach, facilitator, and author, founder of various organizations. I'll just leave it there because the profile is very long. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.